Hi, I'm Dave Kale. Welcome to this Christian Business Insights podcast show where my goal is to provide you with practical, actionable ideas to help you create businesses and careers of excellence and at the same time multiply your influence for the kingdom. I have been a Christian in business for over 30 years, and I have personally and contractually consulted with over 500 different sales organizations. So in these podcasts, I combine the lessons that I have learned with an out-of-the-box experience and perspective on Christianity that you will find challenging. And we put that together to provide you with practical insights and ideas that you can use to live better and lead better. Welcome to the journey. Hi, this is Dave. So, why should you invite God into your business or your career? That's the question we're going to look at today. I'm afraid of the price I'll have to pay. Now, that was a comment made by a friend when the conversation wandered to God and to business. I'm afraid of the price I'll have to pay. Specifically, we were discussing what it meant to invite God to be a bigger part of my friend's business. It's easy to understand his position. He had achieved a level of success that brought him a comfortable lifestyle. He was a regular churchgoer, and he sat on one of the boards there. And so he was living the life that conventional wisdom recommended. He was active in the institutional church system, and he was successful in business. Upsetting that lifestyle by shining the light on his Christian relationship into the world of his business had never been on the table. It just wasn't on the table. He was content with a superficial acknowledgement of his Christianity in the marketplace, but he feared any deeper engagement. His approach was superficial and left him wondering if there wasn't more to it than just a shallow marketplace presence. And while he congratulated himself for his lifestyle, he admitted to a gnawing sense that there was more than that and that God wanted more from him. He was beginning to struggle with that idea and therefore our conversation. I appreciated his transparency and his candor. I suspect that the vast majority of Christian business people feel the same things, but don't have the strength of character to voice it publicly. The world is filled with marketplace Christians who are content with a shallow Christian presence in their business, and they're afraid of the consequences of a more visible, deeper approach. Well, let's face it, I think we're all afraid. We're afraid that our more visible Christianity will alienate some customers, will put distance between our friends and acquaintances, cause our bankers and vendors to look at us with a jaundiced eye. We're afraid ultimately that we'll rock our comfortable world and find ourselves in uncharted ground well outside of the comfort zones we've spent a lifetime building. It's like we understand that a superficial approach is sort of like pruning a grapevine by just trimming off the dead bunches. We know that it might look okay for a while, but if you're going to create a bountiful harvest, you need to work deeper into the plant at its base. But what if the benefits far outweighed any discomfort that might come from stepping out and more visibly embracing Christianity in the marketplace? What if that which we would gain so far outweighs our small sense of temporary discomfort that we would look back on it down the road a bit and reflect, I should have done that years ago. So, very specifically, I recently asked the people who are members of my XI community, by the way, XI stands for Excellence and Influence, my XI community, to articulate one benefit to closely aligning their business and their careers with a more visible acknowledgement of God in the marketplace. What was their response? The most common benefit? What do you think? Peace. Calm in the face of adversity. Assurance when all around us our society and our life seems to be disintegrating. It was tranquility in the face of a scary and unsure future. When it seems like people are screaming irrationally all around us, when the Politicians are more intent on childish games of payback than meaningful discourse. When the institutions we have relied on seem peopled with narrowed agendas and deceitful practices, when the economy and all our best efforts seem totally dependent on forces outside of our control, when it looks darkest, the greatest benefit is peace. While we can all understand a personal sense of peace, these marketplace Christians are reflecting on their position in the marketplace, on their careers and businesses. It's the kind of marketplace peace that arises out of the visible acknowledgement that we are His, and that He not only cares for us, but He owns us and cares for our businesses and our careers. It is our relationship with the Creator that oozes through us, calming fears, easing anxieties, and blessing our efforts. It's what the disciples must have felt when, after a hard day on the job with little success in their fishing business, Jesus told them to put their nets on the other side of the boat and reap a harvest beyond anything they could wish for. It is a peace that bubbles out of the promises. Here's a promise. Quote, "Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before others, I will disown before my Father in heaven." That's Matthew 10:32 and 33. Peace is the biggest benefit of being more visible with your Christianity in the marketplace. It is peace based on the knowledge that God has our back, that He has a plan for us that is better than what we can imagine, that He can, in an instant, multiply a handful of fish and bread and feed thousands of people. It's peace that believes in what He says, "I am with you always, even to the end of the age." That's Matthew 28 and 20. The greatest benefit to more visibly embracing Christianity in the marketplace, according to those who do, is peace. Okay? Hey, you may want to consider the XI community, Excellence and Influence. It's a place where we bring together Christian business people as well as small business owners and sales leaders. We bring them all together and provide content and opportunities and connections to build a career in a business of excellence and influence. That's the name of the community, XI. Anyway, I'll put a link in the show notes. Check it out. Okay? That's it. We're done. Bye-bye.